Good morning, everyone, and welcome to American Scousers Morning Coffee or Tea with American Scouser. It's Friday morning, so it is time to be reckless. As every morning, brought to you by Reckless Coffee Roasters, and it doesn't get any more reckless than this. With Anan here on time, so that's out of the ordinary. And
That's
then
very
Kazi,
reckless.
yeah, that is reckless. And then Kazi is here. That's reckless by itself. A lot to talk to. Obviously, we're going to talk a lot about the game yesterday. There's some stuff in the news I want to get your guys' take on as well. So we'll get started with the game as well, I guess. Kazi, you were quiet yesterday, under the weather. Good morning to everybody as everyone gathers around. Anan and Kazi, let's get spicy and reckless, says Matush. Yes, here we go. Okay, so let's start with the game. You were under the weather. Well, you still kind of are, but so you were kind of quiet during the game. How do you see that? You're usually Mr. Positive.
Yeah.
I know, and I said this in the pre-match, the more comfortable people were, the more people were like, it's going to be 5-6 goal differential, the more nervous I got, because whenever we come out like that, usually it's a lot more difficult. And it's the Premier League. No game is going to be that easy. We kind of got a reminder of that yesterday. But how do you evaluate that game, knowing we broke a record in possession, like Premier League record and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we were a bit complacent, I would say, first half, a little bit. I thought he felt like the goal would come. The goal would come in a weird way. He wasn't really pecking their goal with chances, let's say. Their goalie wasn't man of the match, which I expected their goalie to be man of the match. Even if Liverpool win 2-0, I still expected their keeper to be man of the match. But when we get the goal and we go to half-time 1-0, and you're like, okay, fair enough, you know what I mean? And then things change, and they score a good goal. In terms of if you're them, most goalmen should do better and stuff. Just as the manager's about to make the changes as well. You know what I mean? If the ball goes out to possession there, it's 1-0 Liverpool, the manager makes the changes, Liverpool probably win the game 3-4-0. But that's just how it works sometimes, and that's just the timing, unfortunately. But I thought after the subs, I thought every sub was excellent. Every sub improved us. Jones, Elliott, Robertson, Gakpo were all brilliant. And really stepped it up a level. And the weird thing for me, guys, from 2-1 to 3-1, from 2-1 to the end of the game, I thought it was inevitable we were going to score again. From 2-1, I thought we were unbelievable. From 2-1 to the end of the game. For that last 15, 20 minutes, I thought we were excellent. Like, we looked like, okay, we're going to really hit, We've got the goal, we're winning this game. I think Sheffield United kind of knew when that ball goes into the top corner, even if you have two keepers in, it doesn't get saved.
Yeah.
And you must just think, fuck me, what can you do? Do you know what I mean? And then I think Liverpool, like, we're going to punish, And fair play to Liverpool, mate. It was, for the last 15, 20, we were excellent. And just nice to see the players back on the pitch, Robertson and Jones and Gakpo getting really good minutes and really good football. So it's going to be a nice sweaty 8 games, guys, let me tell you.
Yes, never make it easy. That's the way to go. So let's talk about the subs. Since you brought that up, let's start with that first. Because there are some like performances we got to look at too. Like Alan was talking about Gravenberg. I do not agree that, for example, he was a disaster and stuff, but we'll get to that. The subs. In honor of John, who's not here this morning, let's not bash Gravenberg.
Disaster was a stretch.
Moment of silence for John not being here. Okay, so the subs. We were talking about this before we went on with Kazi. So Anan, I mean, I know now it looks like, some genius subs and stuff like that. They didn't even say it in broadcast, but we were talking about it in Discord. I felt they just came late. They were already obvious. They just came late. We kind of waited for the 60th minute to make those subs. You knew all this possession. I mean, for all that possession we had, Sir Z says, it's nothing unless we score. It's like holding the winning lottery ticket, not claiming your prize. Really, we scored off of Nunez's ass due to his pressing efforts for 60 minutes. You knew it wasn't getting very far. So do you see it as genius subs or late subs?
I think they were at a good time. I don't think they were late. It's not like, we waited till the 80th minute or 85th to make the change. Weirdly enough, I thought especially the substitution of Salah was at a perfect timing. And I know he wasn't happy, but I think once Mo came out, that opened play for us a little. And we were, I hate to say it, we were just a little more comfortable on the ball, just a little more. And I know he hated the sub, but it was a good time to get him out. We've got a big game coming up on the weekend, and we need him on that game to be fit. We need him to be good to go. Game was getting just a little physical. I felt overall good, but I think the best thing I saw was Jones coming back, and I might have to hop off the Sobo train.
Whoa! Time out.
I know
what is happening here.
Too, it's pissing me off too. Like, look, thing I do, when I say something and I backtrack and I'm like, okay, maybe I had that wrong. I still don't think I had it wrong. I just think,
oh, you had it wrong.
I just think Szoboszlai has had a major drop in form, and I don't know what it is. Like yesterday, he was carried by McAllister and Endo. He wasn't bad. He just wasn't the Sobo that we saw in the first 6 games of the season. And McAllister and Endo carried. So it's just good to see Jones back. I wouldn't mind him starting on Sunday.
See, it's funny, by the way, you keep saying Endo. The other guy was actually Gravenberg, and he was carrying that off the ball, right?
Yeah. So Gravenberg is a whole different conversation. And in honor of John, I won't say anything. What the fuck is he? What are we doing with Gravenberg? I don't know why he started yesterday. It might be just to help him pick up form because it's Sheffield, and it was supposed to be a bit of an easier game on paper, but that's not what happened. The game possession looked good, but everything else wasn't happening until it happened, until the ball hit Darwin's ass, until we made the changes. Overall, not a bad game, but it had me worried at 1-1.
Yeah, so I'm going to get to Gravenberg because I know him, Gakpo, they're more like the hot topics. But before we kind of go there, Mo being taken off, Kazi, at that time, obviously hindsight now, like Yali was saying, we almost play better. I don't think that's because Mo is gone. I think that's because we have width on the left-hand side now as well. I don't think it had anything with Mo coming out, but we did play better afterwards. It just happened to be the same time as Mo came out because that's when Robertson came in. What are your thoughts when Mo was coming out? Because everybody was like, "Cause we got United," and I was like, "I don't give a fuck about United over the weekend because if you don't get the 3 points here, it doesn't matter what happens on Sunday."
I think that was a planned sub. I think it was a planned sub, but I think when the ball goes 1-1, and you don't forget they just scored, then he gets taken off, and I think the manager stuck with the plan. I think Salah's probably thought I might get another 15 here because it's went 1-1.
Were you all for it at the time though?
No. No, not at all. I don't think anyone was it? You know what I mean? Let's get it right. They go 1-1 and you take Salah off the next 20 seconds. It's like, what the fuck is going on here? But again, that's full credit to the manager, mate, and the belief he has in his strikers and the other players. And he's brought them on for players who are not in form. They like with Gakpo and stuff like that, and he's repaid the faith kind of thing a little bit. So I think it was a planned sub. I think he's looked at the board when it went 1-1 and went, I'll get 15 here. An extra 15, and then the manager stuck with the plan. But that's what I think's happened with Salah. The Gravenberch one's interesting, mate, because no, we didn't play well. Okay, fair enough. But did Canate play well? No. Did Joe Gomez play well? Not really. You know, did Ahmad 4 or 5? Did Luis Diaz play well? Not really. But the problem is with Gravenberch, he has a track record of not playing well. I think he's bang unlucky with his injury from the League Cup final. Isn't that his first start since the League Cup final? Am I right there?
First start, I think, yes.
Yeah, it's just the League Cup.
And he only came in maybe like once since then. And that was like the last time, like a cameo.
Yeah. So, I mean, all this stuff is, he's a kid, man. It's just like, I don't understand the hate that the lad gets. He's just a kid. Casey Jones, he started to hate 2 years ago, and now he's our best player. So, I don't care, you know what I mean? It just is what it is. And I say Gakpo was getting the hate, and this is Gravenberch's turn, and Diaz, Nunes might miss 2 sitters against United, then it'll be Nunes' turn, and it just is what it is, mate. It's just fickle football fans, but whether Liverpool like it or not, Liverpool are going to need Gravenberch towards the end of the season. He's going to have moments. I think he's going to start against Atalanta. I would start him against Atalanta now. Never mind. Make a plan for after the game. He'll be starting first, probably one of the names on the team sheet. So, no, he did not play well. Can we just get behind him, guys? There's 8 games to fucking go to win a league title. Can we stop digging our fucking lads out? I'm not a big Darwin Nunes fan, but if he wins me the fucking league, I'll fucking give him a big kiss.
You're still not a big Darwin Nunes fan? Has he not turned you a little bit?
No, listen. His phone's went up massively, and he's really starting to impress me. He is, but I think he still has those 1 and 3 kind of games, and he has to be every game playing well. He has those games where he can go anonymous a little bit. I thought he was anonymous at home a couple of weeks ago against someone, Brighton maybe, I can't remember. But I thought he was a bit anonymous at home, and I was like, I need more, are you? Do you know what I mean? I need more still, but he's getting there though. But he's on the right path to giving us more. So I would say that, but if I take that 30 minutes yesterday from Cody Gakpo, that's why I've always been a Cody Gakpo fan, but he's been out of form. But his 30 minutes yesterday shows you how good of a football player he is. Do you know what I mean? The run to make the third goal, by the way, the run's a joke. It's an excellent run to stay on side. And the ball's a crazy goal. And by the way, it's some header. He's like fucking 30 yards out for the header. I felt like he was so far out. So, you know what I mean? But yeah, again, I just want to go back to it, guys. With 8 games to go, and can we just get behind these fucking boys? Yeah, they're gonna have, some of them are going to have stinkers. It's footy. It's a game of footy, but as long as you win the game, who's asked? Do you know what I mean? Let's just fucking stick behind them and give them some confidence to go on as a league.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan is documenting the rare times I'm right on Discords, so that's good. Somebody's taking these down. Somebody has to screenshot this shit. I actually thought, staying with Gravenberg, I actually thought he was fine off the ball. Like in the counter pressing and stuff on, he was winning a lot of balls. It just feels like, kind of like going back to what Kazi was saying. It's a guy who's been out for a while, just lacking that confidence and conviction when he has the ball. But I thought he was very effective in counter pressing, and he won a lot of balls up top yesterday.
Yeah, so it's that's like doing what I used to do when Darwin was shit, and just saying, "But did you see the run he made?" Just trying to give him something. And it's, I don't hate Ryan. I don't think Gravenberg is a problem. I think, again, like God said, he's young. He's only going to get better. And it's nothing to worry about. But even prior to his injury, he had a few stinkers when he came on, and we were like, okay, maybe we have an issue. And that's when the joke was John is getting off the gravy train. And then he had one good game. It's like he's getting back on the train. So it's not like we hate him or we want – no, it's just he's got a lot of improvement to do. We've got 8 games to go. Let's utilize every player we got the proper way to make sure nobody's hurt. And like this week, we had a game on Sunday and then Thursday and then Sunday. You're going to need your Gravenbergs. You're going to need those guys that don't play. I'm actually surprised Timikas didn't play yesterday because the kind of game it was. But it's fine. He can only get better. Depends on what manager we have next season. He might have a very different role in the team. He might have a whole different development plan for him. Yeah. He'll be okay. I still say if I had 11 yesterday and I had to pick one performance where I'm like, that wasn't up to par with the time of the season that we're in, I would say it's Gravenberg. But we got the 3 points, top of the league. We have a game on Sunday to worry about. So what is done is done. Fuck it. Let's move on I am so fired up for Sunday, and there's only one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to get too confident because in the first game against United, we were so confident and we're going to get them 7-0, 8-0, and it was one of the worst games I've ever seen. So I'm not going to go there. But yeah, Ryan's going to be okay. He's only going to get better, and we've got 8 to go, like Kazi says. So let's focus on each game as its own world, each game as its own final, and go from there.
I think it's almost like he has a spotlight on him, right? When like Gravenberg and Gakpo, like those are the guys that like people are kind of like analyzing everything they do. I mean, if you switched yesterday Gravenberg and Szoboszlai, I don't think people are saying what they're saying about Gravenberg today about Szoboszlai. He didn't do a whole lot more than Gravenberg or anything like that, but everybody's watching Gravenberg a lot closer. And I agree. I think you're going to need the rotation. But you mentioned Costas. I want to come to you with that one. At a game that we're home, you said this about Gravenberg, right, Kazi? You said, if he's not going to start against Sheffield, where would he start? Can we not say the thing? I'm assuming Robertson just didn't have the minutes. So I understand Robertson. But we started with Gomez, who I love. But you could tell that he doesn't give you that width because he's right-footed. It's not his fault.
Yeah.
Against a team that's sitting back where you need width, right? Is it odd that we're playing our right back as left back when we have 2 left backs sitting on the bench?
It's a very Jurgen Klopp thing to say, that is. Yeah, it is odd. It is odd. The Costas thing does interest me because if you can't start him in Sheffield at home, when can you start him? Thought the lad's earned the right to have a start. He got an unfortunate injury. So the next question is, if he can't start against Atalanta at home, when can he start? Because otherwise he can't start the rest of the season. If he doesn't start him on Thursday, he will not start a game the rest of the season because there's just no need.
Why do you think he didn't get a start as a left back when we needed a left back?
Don't know. No idea, because I thought he's equipped himself well when he was fit this season, and I thought he's a massive part of why we, of course, won the League Cup. And he's also a massive part of why Liverpool are in the position they're in, because I thought he was really good. So, I don't know. Maybe, but we know, though, about him. The one thing we were speaking about him when he first got back in the side is that we know that it takes a few games to get warm. Liverpool haven't got a few games to get you warm. That's the one thing I would say. Liverpool haven't got 5-6 games where they can let you play your way into form. No. We haven't got that. It's like, do you know what I mean? Every game now means something. So the Atalanta game's interesting for him, I think. I really do think, because I think he does Robertson on Sunday and then probably gives Robertson the break Thursday, and then goes Robertson again on the weekend. So we're probably sitting here, we're probably thinking between ourselves, Gomez might need a break. You know what I mean? Gomez could do with a 90 out here, or at least an hour out. So we're going back to the Gakpo thing, and I think this is very interesting, guys. Don't know if you guys seen the post match with Alexis McAllister.
Yeah, I was about to show that actually, that he basically went out of his way, to bring him up. Go ahead.
It doesn't help. Let's get it right. All the players have social media. They all have the internet. They can see what's being said about them. It's not difficult to find out. You can just search for the name Cody Gakpo on Twitter and press search, and it all comes up. So the one thing I would say is that it makes for him is that, by the way, Salah did it in the interview that's going to go out on Sunday before the United game for Sky. He said he's the most underrated player. Anybody, I think he said Cody Gakpo. Like how good he is as a footballer. McAllister's went out of his way and said that now. Clearly the lad's been suffering. Do you know what I mean? Clearly the lad has been in the dumps about his form himself. And the players are going out of his way to make things about him. And I thought his cameo last night was as good as anyone on the pitch. I thought he was fucking excellent when he came up. Really, really good. And again, I thought he started on the left, but then he scored the goal kind of on the right wing. And it was like, so he was a bit of everywhere kind of thing. And he was just excellent, mate. And again, 8 games to go, guys. Let's just get behind them, please. I've had enough of fucking digging our own lads out for about to win his elite title. So,
unless it's Nunez, says Kazi.
Darwin deserves one. Yeah.
No, I mean, I thought Gakpo had a really good game yesterday, on the ball, off the ball. You can see, what he can do. So is it just being out of form ultimately at the end of the day that some of his struggles, or, we talked about this in the past, some players like Jota, you can just bring him off the bench. He looks like he's started, like he plays just like he is. Some players are not as good coming off the bench because they need more time to warm up to a game. So you throw them in 85, 80. By the time they warm up to the game and they're like, oh shit, yes, that's right, I'm playing, the final whistle goes.
Yeah, and I think it helped that he had that international break, because when he puts on the orange kit, he's a different monster. And I think the attitude that carried over from coming from the Dutch national team to Liverpool, that gave him that boost in confidence, because he had 2 great games for Holland, did absolutely well, got him 2 assists, if I'm not mistaken. It may have been 3 assists. I don't want to be wrong. But he came back with that, positive mindset. The negativity that was gone is gone. Now let me carry over that performance into club football. And I think he did. I think he had a brilliant 30 minutes, and that goal, Kazi said it, that header, I was like, oh, no, what? Okay, he did it. And, it goes in. Everything looked good. Everything looked right. And I'm glad I hope he's back, and I'm glad he's back. And I would not mind him getting 30, 45 minutes against United, depending on the score at halftime. So it's looking good.
I mean, we know he loves the game at Old Trafford. So there's that.
Well, I mean, the other thing as well, mate, I want to speak about this game is having Curtis Jones back. Honestly, what a footballer! Like, it's a joke. Like, genuinely, it's a joke now. It's starting to be silly of how good a footy player he is.
Yeah.
He doesn't lose the ball. He wins so many fouls. He doesn't lose the ball. He picks the right pass all the time. Even if that's the safe pass back to Van Dijk, if that's a fucking forward 30-yard pass to a winger, he's fucking excellent. And the stick he used to get, mate, there can't be any more stick from him. I don't know what more he needs to do to prove how good of a footballer he is. The manager fucking loves him, doesn't he? You can tell the manager just loves the lad. And he's like, every time. I remember when he used to start against City like 2 years ago at home. And I was like, why is that? And then he was like one of the best players. And that was like 2 years ago, because the manager just fucking loves him, because you can just trust him to do his job, which is key. When you're a manager, you guys know. And if you work in a workplace, you just need to trust other people to do their job.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? And I can trust Curtis Jones to do his job. And that's what the manager must be thinking. Oh, thank fucking God you're back. Because what a performance again. I almost
feel like he has been that extension, like how Hendo used to be, like basically the extended arm of Klopp on the pitch.
Yeah.
Like he's almost like taking that role. He comes into that game yesterday. I think you made a great point about playing the right pass. It just feels like flows a lot better when he's in there, because I think he's very comfortable. Is that familiarity, Anand? He's like very familiar with the system. He knows where the ball should go or what he should do. And he doesn't feel the Curtis Jones a year and a half ago would try to do something, and maybe lose the ball, kind of like maybe sometimes what Gravenberg does on the ball, right? Like almost feel like they have to do something. I just see a guy now just making the right pass, and if it doesn't involve him doing a lot, it's fine. Like passing back to Van Dijk, was Kaz saying. Is that just comfort, familiarity? Is it you talking shit about him? What is it?
I think he saw the episode from 2 months ago and he's like, all right, la. And then he just decided to do his thing. No, here's the thing. The confidence on
that
him.
Was a horrible accent, by the way. Wasn't
it? We're not, especially when I'm on the podcast, it definitely isn't great. No.
His confidence has gone to a whole new level. And I think so watching football, especially when they're young, right? We first watched Jones play for Liverpool at 17 and then 18 and then 19. And we've watched this kid develop. When you see a footballer develop like him in front of your eyes, you can't deny what you're seeing. And we saw him going from a kid to a man. We saw him going from that guy's like, holy shit, why is he here? To, okay, it's a good thing he's back. It's a good thing he's here. Let's move on. Let's move forward. And his confidence on the ball has changed, because previously his confidence on the ball was he had this Ronaldinho idea where he's just going to, put it through everybody and do his thing. And now he's become that complete midfielder. Do I need to play a short ball, long ball? Do I need to go forward? Do I need to go backwards? Do I need to shield the ball and wait for my teammates to move? I mean, everything he's doing looks good and is right. And I think the future this isn't the final product. And this is what scares me for Jones, because this is not the final product. Still young, still developing. And I keep saying, depending on what manager we have next season, this could be a completely different player with a whole different role. So I think the ceiling is extremely high right now.
So and the one thing I noticed yesterday as well, guys, yesterday, every player was looking for him. Every player, when they had the ball, were finding Jones with the ball. And I'm like, when other players want to find that player with the ball, they're passing because they trust them that you're not going to lose the ball. We've all played, of course, some kind of level of football. When you're playing with someone shit, you don't pass them the ball. You just don't give them the ball. You're like, he'll lose it again. I'm not running back. Let's be fair. Yeah. Every single player trusted him, including Virgil. He was the first pass into midfield. Because when he pushed McAfee further forward, when Jones came on, he pushed McAllister further forward. Virgil was just going to Jones, going, I know this kid won't lose the ball and he'll find the right pass. And that, for me, says a lot about it. Do you know what I mean? A lot about it. And honestly, he's such a good footy player. And by the way, the timing to have him back right now, fuck me, it couldn't come any quicker, could it? Like, that was perfect.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Cersei says Jones putting his ego aside, doesn't look like chase headlines anymore.
Yeah.
Is it like... Anand, do you think that's Klopp pulling him aside and be like, dude, just do the thing, you know what to do? Or is it just part of him growing up and saying, hey, I don't have to freaking beat Ronaldinho kind of a deal?
He went from boy to man. I think he understood his role in this club, and I think he knows what he can do. And that's not just maybe a conversation, maybe not, but also confidence. When you're good, you know you're good, you translate it on the pitch the way he does. He used to be this dribbling kind of guy that wants to go through everybody. Maybe he realized, I can do better if I do this. Regardless of what it is, we got to credit him for it, because that is one of the best developments I've ever seen in front of my eyes, right? Because I saw him play at 17, at 18, at 19, at 20. And I'm like, okay, you could see it. So if you pull up footage from him from every single season up until yesterday, you'd see him doing this. And that's such a beautiful thing to see, especially for a player like him coming from the youth, coming from the academy, moving up, growing. And by next season, I think he'll be the first name on the team sheet. And that's a good look for the club. That's important for us. So, no, maybe it's a conversation, maybe not. But I honestly think it's just his confidence, knowing what he's capable of and translating it onto the pitch. He didn't get the opportunities last season because we had guys that were cemented in the squad, right? Henderson was always going to play, right? Whatever happens, Milner was going to play. Like, that's it. We have those role players that came on. That didn't give people like Jones to go out there and show and showcase what they can do. This season, because we've said it all summer, we don't even know our starting 11 yet. We don't know our best midfield. That gave Jones an opportunity to put on a display and say, this is why I should be part of the starting 11. And now we're seeing. And now that he's back with the season very close to ending, it's a major boost for us. The Brendan Rodgers joke, when every time transfer window we don't sign a player and then somebody comes back from injury. Hey, new signing. He's back from injury. That's how this one feels, honestly. Yeah. And it's exciting times.
The thing I say, he started them against Arsenal at home last year when we drew 2-2. And that was his first start in ages. And I remember our Discord channel was fucking blowing up. And I was like, we have nothing to lose these 10 games. We had nothing to play for, nothing to lose. And he started in those 10 towards the end of last season. And he was our best player. I think Liverpool won 8 drew 2, and we drew against Southampton at home. If Liverpool had to win that game, Liverpool would have won the game. That was just a fucking free-for-all end of the season. We drew 4-4, didn't we? And it was just a mad game. So that kind of, and then ever since that Arsenal game last March, he's been unbelievable. And as Anand said, but he got those runner games, those 10 towards the end of last season to go, let's find out how good this kid is, because he's been in and out. Let's just start him 10 games. After fucking 10 full starts, we'll know if he's good or not. And fair play, mate, he's returned it, hasn't he? And he's returned the faith the manager's put in. And I think what you just said, mate, it's like, I just think it's maturity of growing up. And he goes, let's get this right. I always think this about young kids. Young kids have been the best player in their team since they were 4.
Yeah.
Until they're 17, they're probably the best player. If you're going to break into the pool, you're the best player. You're the best player in the under-21s, you're the best player in the 18s. Trent was the best player in the 18s, 21s. Everyone knew he was playing centre mid. Harvey Elliott was at Fulham. Everyone knew Harvey Elliott when he was 13. I remember Raheem Sterling was at QPR and Liverpool signed him at 14 because he scored 5 in an under-18s game. And so you're always the best player. Curtis Jones been the best player. So then he's when we looked when he's come in as like that young kid of like, well, this is what I do. This is why I've been picked. Because I'm now playing with these lads and I've been picked on the back of these performances of skinning everyone and scoring goals. And that's what he tried to do. But that's maturity and that's the coaching staff working with them. To say, you can't do that in the Premier League, mate. You've kind of got to take your time and pick your moments when you want to skin people. Do you know what I mean? So it's full credit to the coaching staff and the manager, and it's full credit to him as well for taking a chance, because it looks like he saved Liverpool about 100 million quid.
I was about to say that value-wise. We're going to get to McAllister next in terms of like value and talk about that. The funny thing about it is like we're live on LFC America right now as well, along with like Instagram and everywhere else. So like when you comment on LFC America, it puts it as Facebook user, but just reading what it is, I look at it here, I knew it was Sparky because we talked about this on Discord yesterday. I honestly like we did the same thing with Endo when he first showed up. When he first started signing, we said like, oh, people they don't trust them and stuff like that. I mean, part of it is trust as well. I think, not only that you were talking about that earlier, Kazi. Sometimes, if somebody's shit, you don't pass it to them. And sometimes you just don't pass somebody because there's not that familiarity, that confidence, right? The trust. So I think, and you only earn that by playing more. So you got to be patient and give him some time. And then, if you have trust in somebody, you see him, you put your head up and you see him, you might pass the ball there. If you don't have the trust, you might go with the safer option and like drop it or go to the other side or turn and look the other way or whatever. So I think it's just going to take time for these guys to kind of like get in the system. And the only way is just patience. I keep saying about this Gravenberg, man, he got on the elevator right when the door was closing at the end of this, like the transfer market season. So he hasn't even had an off season. Just going to give him some time. You can see the quality there. Just going to give him some time and like let him do his thing.
Didn't kick a ball at Bayern Munich. He didn't kick a ball.
And plus that, it's not like he was playing before he came.
He played 40 games with Bayern and Liverpool signed him. He hasn't fucking played for 8 months.
And that's what always makes me wonder, did Bayern know what they were letting go of? And I don't want to bash him, but I was thinking maybe Bayern said this isn't going to work out, let him move on. Or maybe Liverpool found the guy they wanted.
When they let Thiago go?
I think
they didn't want to let Thiago go. I just want to put that out there.
They did not let Thiago go. No.
But the money and the age, they were like, okay, it makes sense. But no, Ryan's got a bright future ahead of him. We're going to be having the Jones conversation about Ryan in a few years, hopefully. And we'll be saying, see, confidence makes a difference. A run of games makes a difference. And just working with now he gets to work. And this is a good thing. He gets to work with Jones, the young guy who came through the academy, the young guy who at first we were like, what is he doing? And then he grew on us. He's now working with him. This could also be a huge boost for him because it's young guys working together. You don't know how it works, but if you've played football and you've played through different levels, you see somebody that's your age or a little younger and you see him making moves and growing. You're like, okay, I want to be like him. And then you start working with him, kind of like this mentorship thing. Then you start to improve and then you create a great bond with this teammate. There's huge potential for that. So I don't want to write him off because I was reading yesterday on Twitter, sell him. He's useless. Make a sell list for a new manager. Gravenberg's on the Why? He's played like 14 games or 13 games and he's been injured. He hasn't played all year last year. Like, relax. We're so reactionary and I hate it. Oh. And especially that guy you sent the screenshot from, LFC Laurie. He's like the most reactionary dude ever. As soon as the game ends, sell Gravenberg. Robertson is expired. Dude, relax. Easy. Don't be like that. We won the game. It doesn't matter anymore.
It also Gravenberg as well, mate, that his fucking Dutch captain's behind him. Will help.
Yes, good point.
Will help.
Same with Gakpo, right?
You know what I mean? Of course. And they've got like a little group going now, do you know what I mean? I know all the Brazilian players used to live like next to each other in those same houses that Liverpool actually bought these houses. I don't know if American fans know this, but back in 2005, 2006, when we had all our Spanish players, Liverpool just bought like 6 fucking villas up in McGull somewhere and Crosby area and just put all the Spanish players in these houses. So it was like Alonso, Garcia, Antonio Nunes, Josemi and all that, and Rafa. They all lived by each other. Liverpool still own those houses and all the Brazilian players lived there. So Lucas Leiva, Fabinho, Firmino, Ali, they all lived in there. So do you know what I mean? So I'm assuming that these Dutch lads are probably all right next to each other now. Do you know what I mean? And kind of coming in. So let's just relax a little bit. The kid's got loads of talent. And as you just said, Tim, he hasn't kicked the ball for 8 months at Bayern. I know what you're saying there. Do Bayern know what they'd let go? Yeah, probably. But I think there's also a part where he's just a spare part, isn't he? We know he's a good part, but he's just a spare part right now of what we need. And I don't think it helps Gravenberch that Musiala came in and Musiala was unbelievable.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. There's also a part of that where they've got this young kid that's going to play every game because he's that good. Musiala might be one of the best players in the world. Like that's a joke how good he is.
Not to mention Bayern, especially right now, these last few years, is known for like their cliques in the locker room and stuff like that. So if you did not fit that, you could be the odd one out. And I think. Yeah. I mean, that's a good point because I was thinking about that in terms of him getting used to things a lot better. Is the fact that Van Dijk being here as the captain is a huge help for him and Gakpo. And then, so like you're saying, that's why maybe the international games are a boost too on the way there, on the way back. Maybe
you're going to go and see your boys who speak the same language as you. You're going to go and see some family and have a lovely time. You know what it's like after 2 weeks away with family and friends and you come home and you feel refreshed.
Yeah.
And that can happen sometimes, can't it? So,
let's talk about this dude. Talking about like value and stuff like that. I mean, he has been still. I know in the beginning of the year, once again, a lot of people were like, "Oh, let's face it. Even as a 6, he played extremely well. But you can still tell it's not his natural position. But I think he won a lot of balls as a 6 yesterday as well. And that's part of why we kept possession. And broke like the Premier League record for possession. It's like 81% or something like that. Worth at least 100, probably, Anan?
In today's market, at least 100. He's doing everything. And the fact that we got him for 35 is one of the biggest steals I've seen in modern football. Because in modern football, you've got people like, okay, this is weird, Nunez going for 75, 80. And then you got somebody like
a reckless morning, yes.
Somebody like Maka going for 35. Worth at least 100, and it can only get better. He's only going to improve. He's only finding himself, by the way. In those last 8 games, when he moved up to his natural position, he's only improving. Here's the thing. When he was playing at the 6, according to the Premier League stats, and maybe stats don't mean anything, he was also the best in the league. He had the most interceptions, most won challenges. He's done it all. He's molding himself into that guy that's going to do what you need him to do. And I like to see it. And I know this is far-fetched and a very random thing to say, but if Messi trusts you to be one of his midfielders in the World Cup and the ball keeps coming to you and you're distributing, it says something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. The World Cup's interesting because I think the World Cup is our yardstick of where he was as a player because I thought he's one of the best players of the World Cup. I know Messi's the story and he deserves to be the story, by the way, and he deserves to be the narrative because of it's Lionel Messi, but he was unbelievable at the World Cup, And it's like, and I thought when he pushed him further forward because he had Rodrigo de Paul, didn't he, playing behind him and stuff, and when he pushed further forward, his passing is just a joke. His finishing, he's some footballer, I know you say you're worth 100 million, he's worth double in this market, honestly.
Sergi says he's double Casero, and here's the thing: is in this position, I know Anana's gonna hate this, but I say this all the time. He's everything we thought Thiago was going to be, right? Well, the calmness on the ball, like winning the ball, controlling the pace of the game, seeing the openings, moving the ball when he needs to.
But we got that out of Thiago. The problem is we ran his fucking legs off when we had Henderson and Firmino playing centre half. That was the problem with Thiago. Thiago was meant to come in as a luxury. People forget when we beat United 4-0 at home.
He was just first time brought in for games like yesterday.
Yeah, of course, to look like the best player. But the problem is we ran his legs off, and I think Thiago was mismanaged personally. For needs must, basically. It was needs must kind of scenario for Liverpool. So that's what I know what you're saying, and I agree with you. There is similarities, I would say, with Thiago. He hasn't got Thiago's vision or passing, but his finishing is probably better than Thiago's. Just his touch, his movement is up there as well.
I never got that close to the goal either, though. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, yeah, I look at Thiago.
Like,
Thiago's
like looking back and dribble.
Yeah,
like,
Thiago's goal against Porto is one of the best goals I've ever seen.
Oh shit, yeah.
Like for technique alone, so that shows how good of a football player he is. But the McAllister one's getting there. Like his Fulham goal this season and this goal last night. It's one of those goals where you have two keepers in, you can't save it.
Yeah.
Going back to McAllister, and as you say there with the clutch thing, fuck me, fella, he's being clutch. Like you look at the Brentford goal now. Like how fucking important could that goal be? Liverpool go on to win the league. That Brentford pass. He's the only one who stopped on the pitch for that pass. He just stops, has a look, and goes right, and knew exactly where to put the ball. Just certain stuff like that in games, and you're just like, oh, what a footballer, mate. And listen, he's growing. I don't know how long Endo's out for. That's what I'm scared of, guys. I'm not going to lie. I don't want to see McAllister in the 6 on Sunday. I need Endo back badly. I need McAllister further up the field. So that's my only concern right now, boys, is that. But what a football at the moment. Unbelievable.
And to look at him, and I had to double look at before I say it wrong. An assist in a World Cup final in Di Maria's goal. Played 117 minutes.
Yeah.
Had legs on him. I was looking at player ratings now just to confirm, because I honestly don't remember the World Cup final that much. He was one of the highest rated players on the pitch in 116 minutes. This isn't somebody who's going to come in and crack because he's playing the 6 in the Premier League. This is somebody who went to the World Cup, got him an assist, was one of the highest performing players in the final, and won him a World Cup. I think we looked at Brighton and we said, wow, we want that midfield in Caicedo and McAllister, and I'm glad we only got one of them. That's all I can say, because Caicedo has been absolute garbage. And I think he's a good player, by the way, but I think that the system at Chelsea is also garbage. But overall,
Chelsea is garbage.
Chelsea. So yeah, to look at it, what a player we've got in our hands, and I hope what Kazi said really hit a nerve. I hope he's not mismanaged with minutes and with playing style, because we don't want another Thiago situation.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you guys are giving too much credit to Thiago over there. It's hard to get a guy involved when he's sitting in the physio table 80% of the time.
But he's sitting in the physio. Sorry, but he's sitting on the physio table because he was mismanaged.
No, I think he's sitting in the physio table because he came. I think they rolled him. They rolled him here from Bayern. I think Bayern.
One of my Facebook memories from 2 years ago popped up on my Facebook, and it was Liverpool's best player for the last 3 months, according to stats, was Thiago. That's when he was fit.
People forget how good he was when we were going for the quadruple.
It was unbelievable.
When he played, he was great, but
when we were going for that quad, he was.
But I mean, we weren't even then managing his minutes. He would come out on 60 and stuff like that. It's not like we didn't pull a Fabinho. Or you brought up like Fabinho. We did not do the torture sessions we did with Fabinho and Hendo to him. At least there's that.
Playing Fabinho and Henderson centre half when he got mismanaged. This is what I'm saying. That was the gear, and then he was playing with a load of shite around him as well. I just feel like, unfortunately for him, he was mismanaged, but it had to be needs must. That's all I'm saying. It was needs must. But again, going back for the McAllister situation, the managers always wanted a player like this in Liverpool's midfield. I know Liverpool was successful with Henderson and Ronaldo, but he's had to sign for Kia. People forget, and did have a medical at Liverpool, and he was pictured in the shirt and did interviews and stuff. But then he pulled out. It does Thiago. He's done McAllister. So the manager's always wanted this type of player to get on the ball and dictate play like this and have those kind of. And as much as Henderson and Ronaldo worked, but I think that the manager fell into that system a little bit. I do think he was like, well, fuck me, these are playing. Well, I'm just going to stick with them. Stuck with them and they win everything. So there's a part of that as well. But the manager's always fancied this type of player, and he's got one. But again, it comes down to it. It all relies on the fitness of Endo. because it does, though, because we need him further in the field. We need him up front. But what will help McAllister now is Curtis Jones being back. Because he can do loads of running for him. Don't you worry about this fella. I'll do loads of running. As soon as I get the ball, win you the ball, and you're 30 yards from goal, I will find you, and you do the rest.
So I think you're not like losing anything defensively. It's not like, McAllister, he creates, but he does, you're getting best of both worlds kind of a thing. So he says Thiago's like taking Margot Robbie on a day and coming back home with ginger spice. You know what? At this time of year, let's get behind all the Spice Girls and not slag off any Spice Girls over here, right?
I wouldn't mind it. Hey, I'll take it. As long as you're coming home with something, Susie, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's not slag off any of the Spice Girls over here. That's reckless. Indeed, reckless. See, Anana's like, oh yes, Spice Girls. I remember that. Okay. Speaking of Spice Girls,
we
we were talking about how shit
Can we talk
Chelsea
about United though? Can we talk about United for 2 minutes, Man United, and just have a little laugh?
Yes, that's what I was going to get to now.
Speaking
of Chelsea,
I need to talk about this Chelsea game. The
Yes.
funniest fucking because we only caught the last 20 minutes because of the Liverpool game. The funniest last 20 minutes I've ever seen in the field. Anthony's pass might be the pass of the season, and no one's talking about it.
Dude,
Anthony's pass, the guy,
and that's his first assist. Way to get your first assist.
All the way.
Yeah.
Unbelievable pass. Then, what is it? Diego Dallo gives away a pen. He scored a pen. They take the kick off, pass it to Diego Dallo, and he just runs the goal like this. Gives the ball away. They go to a 4-on-2, get a corner, and win the game.
Yeah, I don't know. And then they leave Palmer wide open. Yeah, I mean, we were like my brother. Obviously, he was watching that. Like he was watching our game first, and then he was watching that one. Like switch to it, and then he's like, God damn it! I guess I'm gonna stay up because when it was 2-0, it was about to go to bed because they're 8 hours ahead over there.
Yeah.
So then he's like, oh man, this is turning out to be a good game. So the comeback is on. They go up 3-2. He's like, oh, I'm glad I stayed up for this, and. And then, like he switched. He's like, oh, the moment I switched to your guys' game, I know Liverpool is going to score. And honestly, when he switched, McAllister was celebrating in the corner. I'm like, yeah, come on. Because he's like, okay, I'm switching to your guys' game. I'm like, yeah, come on over. We're in the corner celebrating. He's like, God damn it, I knew it and stuff like that. And then when our game was over, we were watching his game at the end together, kind of like, I'm watching, he was watching there, we're chatting, and he was like, God damn it, I stayed up for this.
Yeah, my buddy is a huge United fan, and he, when they made the comeback, his Facebook post was Chelsea is done. Pochettino was a joke, and I was like, fuck, man, this guy has a point. And then 10 minutes later, I just responded to it, and I couldn't because the post was deleted. So I screenshot it, and I sent it to him, and he goes, fuck you, don't ever talk to me again. I think what a blast. That pass from Anthony was amazing, but no one's going to talk about that.
Chelsea did look like shit. I mean, it's not like Chelsea was so good. This is just United in a nutshell. But more importantly, I mean, yeah, it was a great laughing. I mean, especially after our game is done, it's all relaxed. And then for dessert, you watch them getting back. But how does it translate to Sunday?
Oh, it's massive. I think it's not that they've lost the game, guys. It's that they've been in a fucking war for 100 minutes away at the bridge. They probably got home Friday early morning at 4 or 5 a.m. They probably got home. They probably sleep, do a little recovery session Friday, have one training session, then go. Liverpool were in bed by 11. Liverpool are in bed, sleeping, and at home, by the way, in their house. So I do think all travelling does. I know it's only in London. It's still a 4-hour coach journey. I'm sure they flew. But still, it's, you know what I mean? I do think it matters, and of course, the way they've lost the game, defensively. I think Johnny Evans comes on the pitch at our time, plays 15 minutes, gets injured again. Yeah. They bring on a kid called Cam Waller. So it could be Cam Waller centre half with Maguire on the weekend with Diego Dallo playing left back.
I think so, because they're the ones that are definitely out.
That's what I'm saying. They haven't got a left back right now because Malacia and Shaw are out. This is why I was talking about on Wednesday. They had Regulon, even though he wasn't great, but he was a naturally left-footed left back. Then they fucked him off anyway, and then said, we're just going to play Lindelof there. Lindelof gets injured playing left back. So now they moved their best player of the season, which was Dallo on the right, over to left back.
Yes.
Now he's like dog shit. So if you're Mo Salah, mate, and you're playing Cam Waller and Dallo on your side, you've got to be licking your lips. They're going to give you chances, aren't they? They're going to give you moments in a game. Like Liverpool, yeah. I felt like this when City came to Anfield a few weeks ago, and everyone was like, this is City's best chance to win there. Everyone felt like that, didn't they? Everyone was like, because of Liverpool's injuries, and Liverpool were just excellent in the second half, especially, and should have won the game. This is our best chance to win at Old Trafford. This is up there. Like, Liverpool have to go there and win the game, of course, just to win the league. But if you actually look at the team that they're going to start in, we have to win the game.
It's all about finish. I mean, they're I think they're at the top now, literally in the league top in terms of shots allowed.
You can see that, more than Sheffield.
Yeah,
by a mile.
Crazy.
By a mile.
But Anand, it's going to be all about finishing, because I almost feel like if we do finish, and especially if it finish early, this could be another a massacre. But if it is another game where we struggle, they're still dangerous on the counter. That's the only thing that worries me, because really that's the strength of this team. They talk shit about Mourinho for like years about like, oh, this is not United football and stuff. But really, that's what's the best way for them to sit back and counter. I know it's not fun to watch as a fan.
They won 2 trophies. They won 2 trophies under Mourinho.
Yeah.
I know, mate.
Finished second with that garbage team.
82, yeah.
The good news is we've got a well-rested Mo Salah that's about to go at these guys.
Pissed off Mo Salah is always the best Mo Salah.
Yeah, and he's and it's the last 4 days of Ramadan, so he's like, okay, it's almost done. I got just till Wednesday, and then I get to do everything all over. Listen, he's got a lot on his mind, and he came out. He wasn't happy to come out, so he comes into this next game well rested, angry, pissed off, proving a point. Everything is going to go well for him. I don't want to make any big score predictions because last time we did that, it was a shit show. So I'm going to say we go out there, we win. This is our best opportunity to win there with all their injuries and all the crises they're going through. And watching Bruno Fernandes yesterday almost cry at the end, like really gave me joy and happiness. So I will go there and hopefully we'll get the win. But most importantly, I don't care if it's 1-0, 2-0, or 3-0. Most importantly, no injuries. That's really my biggest key here. We're one McAllister injury away from going into serious depression. We're one Van Dijk injury away from shaving my head and just doing everything I'd never wanted to do in life. It could be bad. So go out there, get the win, then worry about it after. Like, just...
You're not going to treat this game like the World Cup final.
But it is, though. Because we've been
honestly,
in that
that's why. Wasn't it better for them in some ways, Kazi, for them to actually finish off that game and win yesterday? Because then it would go with the up and down graph of them. You know what I mean? Like, you'd be like, oh, good. This is the down game turn.
Not when they're conceding 30 shots a game. Because if you're going to give Liverpool 30 shots, Liverpool score 4.
Well, not at home. We didn't. We had 34 that game.
The other thing is, it's not just them losing the game; it's the way they lost the game.
That's what I'm saying. That's the other part.
I guess, yeah.
I mean, they could have won. They could have won the game and came in with so much confidence. Could have lost the game and said we played better. Ten Hag said it a few weeks ago when they drew. He's like, we were still the better team, and they went on the next game and they won. But it's the way they lost the game. We're talking about the last 5 minutes in the game. We're talking about extra time, and then Cole Palmer is just wide open, takes a shot. It deflects in. Everything about the way they lost does this to you.
You couldn't do it any better because I don't even think it was a pen. He barely touches him. I don't even know if it is a pen.
Both of them are really soft.
Yeah, they're soft. That's what I'm saying. So it hurts you. And I should say the first one, in my opinion.
Yes.
So there's parts, and I'm with Anam massively. It's the way they've lost him. Like, fuck me, to get yourself up again and go, we're going to get ram ragged again. Like, and then there's also a part of this. I know what you're saying about the home game, but Ten Hag sold them an idea of this is how we get home, and it worked for them. After what just happened, and let's just say Ten Hag sits there on Saturday and goes, here's the plan, guys, we're going to put 10 behind the ball again, and we're going to frustrate them. They're going to look and go, fucking shut up. Like, you have no idea what you're talking about, fella. Do you know what I mean? So there's a part, again, it's all just for courses, but I'll just check there. Do you know West Ham are 3 points off United?
Yeah.
West Ham.
That was like a huge thing yesterday because, I mean, that's what United fans were worried about because even Europa is in danger now.
And 11 points off Villa. I'm just looking there. I can't get over it because I don't want lads, to be honest, when I check the table, guys, I don't like strolling down too much to find them. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to waste my time.
Yeah, you kind of like look top 3 and then bottom 5.
I check the top 5 and the bottom 5 just to find out whatever, you know? That's all I do. But I mean, it's just, I just feel like they're struggling badly. And I know what you're saying, Tim, with the roller coaster thing, and I understand that point. It's completely valid. But if Liverpool, they have to come out and do something at home. They have to. They can't just come out and play 10 behind the ball after what just happened. They have to come out and try and get on the ball and try and win the game. Do you know what I mean? By the way, and the comments of this is like their World Cup final, I've been there growing up. I've been there when my only fucking thing to worry about was to beat United, to stop them from winning the league. We've all been there. And I remember we've done it. We've all done it, and it felt amazing. It was like, fucking hell, we beat United and they're going to win. That's how the fans will feel. So Liverpool just need to go out, be professional, conduct their business, be patient, and I think Liverpool will win the game. But it's about being patient.
That's why I think the start is important. I mean, we kind of forget, like, the start yesterday, it could have been 2-0 within the first 75 seconds, it felt like.
We need Endo badly, man.
Yeah.
Endo's such a key, mate. Like you just said then, that United's best way home was to counter-attack, and I agree with that. That's why you need Endo.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
And I almost feel like he will be there. That's why we didn't risk him yesterday. So we were talking about it earlier. Let's take a touch on that real quick. the way the substitutions are made, Anan, does that kind of tell you Gomez starts at right back and Robertson is on left back?
For me,
I don't know if that's what it tells me, but I think that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Because you really don't know what anything Jurgen does means, but I think it's the right thing to do. You move Gomez to the right, you put Robertson on the left. That's the logical answer, but also you don't know what could happen because Bradley is also he's performing, he's doing well, so you really don't know. I was thinking yesterday, I'm like, what if he? And this may be very far fetched. What if he didn't start Tsimikas so he can start him tomorrow and then play Robertson in the second half? Not tomorrow, Jesus, Sunday.
Not a chance.
I hope not.
Yeah, I don't. If you don't trust him against Sheffield, I don't know why you would trust him against.
The manager always talks about rhythm, doesn't he? Always talks about rhythm.
And the fact that Bradley played 90, I don't know. And then Gomez gets taken out at 60, like what was it, like 65, 70, I think, when Gomez got taken out, right?
60, I think he does the Salah sub. I think it's Gomez and Salah for Robertson. Is it Gomez?
No,
Gomez came out after like 4 minutes.
He puts Gomez to the right, doesn't he? He puts Gomez and pushes Bradley further forward. Yeah. But I think it's Gomez right back.
I hope so. I hope so.
There's also a part of this as well where Bradley struggled and they kind of targeted him in the FA Cup game. They kind of targeted his side with Garnacho. So there's a part of this where you can just say, well, just have Joe Gomez, don't be crossing the halfway line. That's their counter-attack. Do you know what I mean? Their counter-attack is Garnacho. Let's just worry about Garnacho there. Do you know what I mean? They had Hoyland back and he looked a bit, the 30 minutes I've seen in the highlights, he looked a bit like he was struggling a bit, but it's going to take him time to get back up and running. So it just feels like this is a really good time to play him to go. It's never a good time to go to Old Trafford. Never. Yeah. But it feels like the timing with their injuries and their defensive worries as well. Come on, Liverpool, man. Fuck me. You couldn't ask for a better one. Especially with Arsenal going to Brighton away at R5. You know what I mean? And also, by the way, City going to Palace at R12. We went to Palace at R12 and it was a dog of a game. An absolute dog of a game. And that's all I asked for is City to have a dog. I expect City to win. But I just want them to have a fucking... I want them to be on the 91st, like holding the ball up in the corner flag kind of the game. That's what I want from City.
I just see this one as like one of the biggest bends along the way over here, right? It's like the away Trafford. I should have... I mean, it's kind of like, even when we were extremely poor. United coming to Anfield is like a whole different ordeal. So it's a tough away game.
All three sides of the way, aren't they? All three sides of the way. This feels big, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because all three are away. No one's at home with a little easy bye. Do you know what I mean? It's like, fucking hell, they're playing them at home. Like Luton. I mean, after Arsenal just drew with fucking City, everyone was like, who's Arsenal? Got Luton at home. Fuck's sake. Like, give them a little tough one. Give them one where they might get a few problems. Give them a Wolves, for example. You might give them some issues, but this one, three sides away, Tim.
So let's stay at the back line. Kwanzaa or Konate, having seen Konate just play the 90?
It'll be Konate.
Aha!
I don't know. I want Konate, but I think it'll be Kwanzaa. But I want Konate. I just feel like he's our better defender. I just think he's a better defender right now. I
feel like it's going to be Kwanzaa just because, I mean, I'm almost afraid at the same time to say Konate and have Konate play another 90 or get hurt or something like that. I'd rather have him manage his minutes because you don't want to lose.
I don't want Konate.
Those guys.
I don't want Konate starting any of the Atalanta games.
That's fair.
So I want Konate once a week. So if Konate, just get me to this and then you've got a week off. Just get me to the end of the season. I don't give a fuck about your Euros. Worry about that then. Just get me to the end of the season. I will start him in the Europa League final, maybe the semis, but I do not want him starting against Atalanta. Just get.
So the front line, I think, kind of like fills itself now, right? I mean, despite Gakpo's performance, obviously he's going to come off the bench because the other ones are in form. Midfield, is it too soon for Jones to get a start? Because I know he specifically mentioned in the last pre-match press conference about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and stuff like that. Do we start with Endo, Max, Szoboszlai, and like have Jones come in second half or the last 30 and stuff, or do you roll the dice and start him on? Now that you're a Jones fan with us, welcome aboard, baby. Welcome aboard.
Good to be here. Thank you for all your support. I appreciate the words of wisdom that got me here. No, I think it's too early to start him. We don't want to risk again an injury. So you'd start with, if Endo's get to go, you'd start with Sobo, McAllister, and Endo, and then second half you make the change. It's likely going to be Szoboszlai comes out, Jones comes in, finish the game, get us the win, guarantee the score. But I think it's too early to start him. Unless manager knows something we don't, I think it's too early to start him.
think I'm with you there. I think I am with you just. I think well, it will be Jones on the 60. I think whether Liverpool are winning or losing because he adapts so well in the game. So I think it's Jones. And also, I think the fixtures after this, I think Palace at home in the league. Don't worry about Atalanta, that's a separate thing altogether. But it's Palace at home in the league on the Sunday, which isn't bad. And that could be his first start. And then you go into that week of the away games, don't you? With those 3 away games in a week, Fulham away, Everton away, and West Ham away. Yeah,
West Ham or
West Ham, yeah. So you go into those 3 away games, and a 1 probably starting 2 out of 3. Definitely at Goodison Park, definitely. But it's going to be tough. I would start him at Palace at home. I think you're doing 30 against United, Palace at home first start.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just too soon. I'm just kind of judging it based on like what Klopp was saying in the press conference a couple of days ago in terms of him slowly being eased. And what did he get yesterday? About like 20 minutes or so, right?
Yeah, I think he won at the 70, didn't
he? Let's take a look real quick. But yeah, I mean, so just based on that, I feel like he would not get the starts, and we start with Szoboszlai. It's not like he was extremely poor or anything like that, but Jones makes such a huge difference when he came in that it was like, holy cow. And then having Endo behind will help Szoboszlai as well.
The thing about Szoboszlai is he hasn't been bad. He just hasn't been as good as what he did in his first 6 games of the season, to be exact.
Yeah.
That's when he shined. That's when he was just doing everything we've dreamt of seeing in our midfield for the last 4 years. Yeah. And then he just had a drop in form. And then when players like that drop in form, it's noticeable. And then you're like, okay, what happened? So you start saying they're not as good. But he hasn't been bad. He wasn't giving the ball away. Just a little slower in decision-making. It's just not the same Sobo we saw when the season started.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And I think his best half, by the way, was against Brighton away last week. The second half was the best half of footy since those 6 games, probably. So 6-8 games. So as much as... And I thought he was still okay yesterday. I didn't think he was excellent, but I didn't think really many were excellent yesterday. So,
okay, here's an interesting point, and I'm going to come to you with this, Kazi, because London Cup TV on Instagram says Szoboszlai has played within himself. There's more to come from him. We were just talking about Curtis a little bit earlier, right? Like trying too hard in the beginning a couple of years ago and now staying in the system. Is Szoboszlai just doing that and therefore not sticking out as much as maybe what he did earlier in the season?
That's a good question.
I'm not saying that is the case. I'm just asking what you think.
I think that's a good question. I think it's more sticking in the system, maybe. He's just adapting to Liverpool and how we're playing. Because we signed Wijnaldum as like a number 8 and then he number 10, like a goal scoring 10, and then he just turns him into something else. Yeah. So we do these types of things with players. I don't know. I do think it's hard to adapt to a different league.
I don't either. That's why I asked you.
Yeah, I mean, of course. But it's like, I do think it's hard to adapt to a different league, and that's where the Gravenberch situation comes in again. So they're not always going to be in and out, but we've seen enough from Szoboszlai, seen enough from Gravenberch where you can look and go, there's a player there, and they just need a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, another thing for Szoboszlai, when he was at Leipzig, he was the midfielder of choice. He always had the ball. Everybody went to him with the ball. He was that guy.
And he's the same in Hungary, too.
Yeah. You come to Liverpool, and you're not going to be that guy because now McAllister has played well. Endo has played well. And then they're playing the ball to Salah. They're playing the ball down the left. He's not going to be always getting the ball. So it changes your view in the game. So when you get the ball, you want to do everything to prove why you should be the one getting the ball. And it kind of takes you out of your rhythm. But he's young. He's young.
Yep.
And he's got a lot to go. So it's only going to get better. We're talking about international captain. He's doing well for his country. And I think that'll eventually start to translate into Liverpool once we have a full system that everybody is understanding. And that all depends, I said this a lot today, on the next manager.
8 games to go, baby. 8 games from football.
And that's the thing, and the beauty of this is all we got to do is freaking win. And you don't have to watch.
Yeah. We said this on Wednesday. We said this on Wednesday, Tim. Liverpool have never been in this position.
Yeah.
We've always been relying on City. Like, what does City? Oh, City beat Villa. I don't give a fuck if they beat Villa.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as Liverpool win their games, I don't care. Like, previously, we've always, like, please someone praying for Leicester on a Monday night to do something for me. Then Vincent Kompany bangs one in from 30 yards. Yep. I don't care anymore. I'm not interested in what they do. Listen, it'll be a juicy little bonus if fucking Crystal Palace show up on R12 on Saturday. I'll be sitting here like that going, yeah. But it doesn't matter because Liverpool, all they want to do is just win their games. And there's a part of this, guys, I know what they're saying, we have a tough run coming up, with their like Villa away and people are worried about that game and stuff like that. Liverpool, it could be over by now. Mm-hmm. It could be over by Villa. Villa's the second to last game. It could be over by Villa.
Yes.
Villa
That's why I feel like this weekend is like one of the main.
This is the pivotal weekend. I agree. I agree. Couldn't agree more with you. I think this weekend, with all three teams still playing away from home, I think this is where, if you're going to see a twist in the tail, like a little turn, it could be this weekend with someone dropping. I think this is the one.
Having said that, Leslie, with some predictions. I know you didn't want to give a scoreline, Anand, so are you sticking with that? Okay, I'm not going to twist your arm. I'm not going to twist your arm. Better than you saying 7-0 or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's not make John cut that up as a short, please.
Let me just say, we'll win. I hope to win. I'm praying we win, but that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, of course.
Ozzy, what do you have?
I'm going to take, actually, because I've never predicted this before on the podcast, I'm going to take the Tim Richardson special.
Oh, welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard. And I tell you why. I think it's going to be a tougher game than you think. I think United will bite back, but I think Liverpool, because they just have to win, they will win. And again, with the players coming back like Jones and stuff like that, and I'm backing Liverpool all the way. I think Liverpool win the last 8.
Let's see. Mecca predicted a loss for us this Thursday. What the hell?
Well, we're about to film soon. Another fucking Scouser Irishman in Turkey.
Yes, we'll beat the heck out of him.
Exclusively for our Patreons, so make sure you sign up. And I will have a fucking seriously strong word with that little fucking Paddy prick. And have a fucking serious chat with him.
Ryan says 2-0. I am sticking with my special on this one. But to be fair, yesterday was my special, but that's the worst kind of Timuchin special you can have. I prefer at least a 2-0 up.
3-0 and then a little like 95th minute. Yeah, consolation.
Yeah, make it 3-1. Not this one. I did not like this one at all. That's not the kind of Timuchin special that I order. So it wasn't done right. But either way, at the end of the day, like we said, 3 points is all that matters, and that's what we gotta get. Gally is going with 3-0. I mean, yeah, that's the ideal.
I want to say something, but I can't.
Yeah, don't say anything. Don't say
a word. This is that dreamland. They're beating them 3-0.
But at least, hey, we have a Saturday to chill, to relax, and then Sunday, I got a great comedy coming up after the Liverpool game with the whole Fenerbahce Cup thing going in Turkey too. There's going to be a lot of drama there.
Galatasaray, innit? You're playing.
Well, we're not going. Fenerbahce is not going. They're sending the U19s. And this was very similar to what happened with us and the FIFA.
Why don't we talk about this for an hour? Let's just talk about this. What?
So they're sending. Okay, initially they were not going to send anybody to this game. They were not going to play it at all. Okay, this is going to take probably another 30 minutes. But originally, for some weird reason, Spanish does the same thing. This was going to be a play in Jeddah, in Saudi Arabia, or maybe Riyadh. I don't know where. So there was some kind of fiasco where the Saudis didn't want to play our national anthem, have like stuff on Atatürk and stuff like that, because apparently they're still butthurt. So Fenerbahce was the first one to say, well, if you guys not going to do that and respect that, then we're out of here. So they didn't play that game. They left. Like Fenerbahce said, screw you guys, then got on the bus and they left. So Fenerbahce got blamed for it. So they rescheduled it to this Friday, to this Sunday. But Fenerbahce plays in the quarterfinals in the Europa on Thursday.
Yeah.
And they usually back home, well, when everybody was in it, they postponed the games. The Greek league has postponed Olympiakos' game, for example, so that they get the rest. Because this is huge. I mean, England does not get this. The Premier League does not. No. But some of these leagues, like the Turkish league and the Belgian league, these points are very important because it's goes to your quotient, how many teams you can send and stuff like that, like country points and all that. So now Fenerbahce initially said they're not going to send anybody. But then when they looked into it, there's a lot of legal ramifications to do that. You can't enter the cup. More importantly, you pick up the tab. And they made this in a city that was affected by the earthquake, like built a stadium. So you would have to pick up the entire tab for that. So basically, I think what Fenerbahce did is they looked at the legal ramifications. They're sending the U19s. They told fans not to go and said this game is not going to be 90 minutes. Don't even go to the game.
So is the game now being played in Turkey or still in Saudi?
No, it is in Turkey. It's in Urfa in the southeast. Like, one of the cities that was affected by the earthquake last year. But Fenerbahce flat out said this game is not going to it's not going to last 90 minutes. So they're either going to come out there and 2 guys are going to say we're hurt. They're going to go down to 7. So they're going to play, but not play. So that's going to be some ultimate drama.
And this is a very important question, I think, for your loyalties here, Tim. Would you take Liverpool winning the league or Fenerbahce winning that cup with the under-19s? Because that would be... Imagine you took the lead in the first 5. Do you know what
I
I mean?
could not give a fuck about that cup personally.
But I'm
And
saying,
honestly, like, they're not gonna play. They're not even playing.
beating Galatasaray. But
That would be
say
one
they're not
thing
gonna
for
play
the
it.
ages, though, right? It's like when we
It's
beat
like when Liverpool
Everton
just
with
won the
like the
League Cup.
kids.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Imagine that. You're saying they're not going to play it, but if the Fenerbahce take the lead in 5 minutes, we'll fucking
I
fancy
don't
this.
even think I think there's like different things. Like you can start with 9. 9 is the minimum players you can have. I guess I didn't know any about this stuff about soccer, so now we're finding all these out. You can start with 9, and if 2 guys say I just pulled a hammy, we're down to 7. Game is over.
Yeah, 4 red cards can end the game. 7 players or less due to injury can end the game. Yeah.
So I think
punching a ref can end the game, and that's the thing in Turkey. I'm not saying
exactly.
do it, but
that's insane.
Yeah, so there's gonna be a lot of drama. So I'm hoping Liverpool win and just sit back and watch the drama.
I'm so excited. I've got a round the golf booked, and I don't think I'm going. Like this could be it.
Massive respect though for them not playing in Saudi because of the national anthem. Fucking massive respect.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
The ass kissing with those.
Yeah.
Okay, just needs to stop, and somebody had to put a stop to it. And I am glad Turkish people did that because.
By the way, mate, you are correct in 100 to do that against your biggest rival in a cup final as well. Like to do that against the Mickey Mouse team just to win a Galatasaray Fenerbahce fella. That's a fucking serious.
Of course, Galatasaray being Galatasaray. If you watch any Turkish soccer, don't go anywhere near these assholes because they could have easily said, yeah, they're the ones who are insisting on playing it on Sunday, whereas they could have played this at the end of the season. This is basically last year's cup winner. This is the Charity Shield, basically.
Oh, is it?
Yes, that's all it is.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's all it is. It's basically last year's cup winner against last year's league winner.
I'll take it. Even if it was a friendly, them refusing to play there is a massive respect.
Oh, yeah.
Massive.
They were like nowhere. They did not allow Fenerbahce to wear shirts that had Atatürk on them for warm-ups. So Fenerbahce said, I guess we're not warming up then. And they never came out.
Why isn't this like national news?
Yeah, seriously.
Fenerbahce, and more importantly, because it's the Saudis probably. But
here's the thing. I get all the Arabic football news and all these. That was not mentioned in any Arabic outlet. Period. This is the first.
They did not allow them to wear. They did not allow people to go into the stadium wearing those shirts. That was made specifically for this.
And for the record, they're hosting the World Cup in 2034, right? Fuck my life, right? That's all I can say.
Yeah, but when that happens, things get a lot more relaxed. We saw it in Qatar and stuff like that. When the world is watching, things are different. We said the same thing that could happen in Qatar, and it didn't. That's the one when the world is watching.
Random fact: I was at the World Cup in Qatar. I went to a lot of the games. I was at the quarterfinal, semifinal, final. Like a lot of the games, it was a great vibe. Everything was great. People were just complaining about the lack of alcohol, but then past the group stage, people didn't care anymore because it was so much fun. But I just hope Saudi doesn't get the World Cup, period. And nobody clip this because I'm not trying to get my head cut off or anything, but I just don't want him to get, I still want him to get, fucking hate him. Okay.
Yeah, your door is going to be ringing in a little bit with 10 guys with chainsaws.
Just so you know, guys, there's a disclaimer. That's just the Nan's opinion. And all opinions are Nan's.
We agree, we just want to say it. Okay.
This is no opinion of American Scouser.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, because that would be reckless. We don't want
the show. Only represent the person speaking. Okay, got it.
I'm so excited for Galatasaray Fenerbahce on Sunday. I can't believe what's about to happen.
I think it's like 2:30 or something my time.
I hope the kids play.
Like
I hope the kids
12:30 your time.
I want the kids to take the lead for 5 minutes. I want the kids. Come on, kids.
Imagine.
Yeah, that is reckless. Well, that's a great way to end Reckless Friday over here. Enjoy tomorrow, everybody. Relax. Get ready for Sunday where we beat the heck out of United, hopefully. But have a great day. Thanks for joining us. Like, subscribe, smash that like button, all those things that we forget to say in the beginning. And just grab somebody by the ear. Tell them to follow American Scouser. Have a great Saturday, everybody. Take care.